Right now, we're going to head right back out to the Myron J. Elementary School in East Providence, where 2 precincts are located today.
And that's where anchor Kim Kalunian has been. She joins us live now. Kim?
Shannon and Kayla, that's right. We're here outside the Myron J. Francis Elementary School in Rumford in East Providence. And behind us, quite a crowd has gathered. The mayor of East Providence, Bob DeSilva, is here, Senator Jack Reed, as well as Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, who's facing a challenge from State House Rep Patricia Morgan. And joining me right now is 12 News political analyst Joe Fleming. We're going to drill down into a lot of different topics, Joe, but I think the first thing that I want to talk to you about is how a presidential election turns out the vote. What are we seeing tonight?
People in this country want to go out and vote for president of the United States. And we're standing here in Rhode Island. Right now, as of 4 o'clock, 420,000 people have voted in the state.
Wow.
It's on the way to getting closer to 500,000. I thought at noontime it would go over 500,000, but the vote slowed up. However, between 4 and 7 o'clock, people are coming home from work. A lot more people come out to vote. So we can get close to that 500,000 people. We had 522,000 4 years ago for president.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we're going to be watching those numbers, especially, Joe, as you mentioned, the sun is setting. People are getting done with work, and they're going to be heading to the polls.
Yep.
What are you going to be watching tonight after the polls close?
Well, once the polls close nationally, I'm going to be watching the 7 swing states they're talking about on how they do. Georgia and North Carolina are going to be closing first. Georgia says they're going to get their votes in pretty quick, probably 80% of them within the first hour. If they do that, that'll give us some indication. If Donald Trump wins those 2 areas, that's a good sign for him. If the vice president happens to win one of those states, that's a good sign for her. After that, we're going to be looking at what they call the blue wall: Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. 3 areas. If the vice president wins those 3 states, she would probably be the president-elect.
We have seen this movie before where it takes some time to get these results in. Do you think we will know who won the presidency tonight?
If it's really close, probably not. But we will probably know it quicker than we did 4 years ago, because a lot of the states have changed what they're doing. Some of the states are counting the mail ballots earlier, or they're certifying them earlier so they can give the council a lot quicker. So if it's really close, we might know tomorrow or possibly Thursday, depending on how tight it is. But if the votes are all going one way, it'll be a lot easier. There could be a result tonight.
Let's talk about some of the things that are on the ballot locally. As I mentioned, the statewide Senate race, Whitehouse against Morgan. We've got some ballot referenda as well. What are you watching for? Do you think there will be any, big headlines out of those races?
On the ballot referendums, the money section, Rhode Island voters have a history of always voting to approve those. They want to see improvements in the state getting better. The one question that there could be rejection on would be the Constitutional Convention.
Which is question 1.
Question 1, there's been a lot of opposition for it, and there's some groups going for it. But that's the one that's having the most controversy right now, is the Constitutional Convention. We'll have to watch that tonight. Last time it was on the ballot 10 years ago, it lost 55 to 45.
And in terms of local results, we are expecting to see those pretty quickly.
Oh, the local results, I would say by 8:30, we're going to have a big portion of the state in. And we'll have a pretty good idea who's winning the mayor races, who's winning the Senate races, who's winning the House races in Rhode Island.
All right, certainly a lot to watch. Again, the polls are open until 8 o'clock, so there's still plenty of time to get out and vote if you haven't already. 12 News political analyst Joe Fleming, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
All right, we'll send it back to you.